All right. Joker Folie, Deux. Very divisive, polarizing film. Some people loved it, some people hated it. We're going to talk about it, and who better than to talk about it with one of the world's biggest Batman fans, BigJackFilms. And here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Get over here! Hi, I'm martial art master Daniel Casino. You know me as the original Johnny Cage, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Reptile, and Smoke. You are tuning in to NerdCage Live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Don't miss an episode or you'll get caged. So let's finish him.
This is Anthony Marquez, better known as Kung Lao for Mortal Kombat. Make sure to like and subscribe to NerdCage Live. Be there. Us.
Hey everybody, this is Dave Niebuhr from Dog Eat Dog, and you're watching NerdCage Live. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel. These are great guys doing what they love to do.
NerdCage Live and gaming are a perfect match!
Shoot the J, Joe. Okay. Shoot it! All right!
Over on NerdCage Live on Twitch, Jay and Joe go live.
Call me Bazooka Joe.
It's all about you.
Kaboom!
Playing both old school and new school games every Tuesday night. Ooh, what a sight!
Jay, stop looking at her face and run. But she's so beautiful.
So be sure to follow NerdCage Live on Twitch.
Run for your life, Joe. Run for your life, Joe.
Running!
Run faster! Oh no, Joe! The galaxy's doomed because of you!
To scratch your gaming itch.
Oh, nice kick, Joe.
Thank you.
Yo, that's diabolical. Wait. Yo!
That's twitch.tv/NerdCage Live.
Hi, I'm Leah Montalongo, the OG Sindel. Please like, subscribe to NerdCage Live.
This is Ernie C. from Body Count. You're tuned in to NerdCage. Can you like and subscribe?
Hey guys, it's the original Shao Kahn, Brian Glenn, and I'd like you to subscribe to NerdCage Live.
It has begun.
If what you say is true, the Shaolin
And the NerdCage.
could be dangerous.
Greetings, citizens. You're now trapped in a NerdCage. We hope you have a smashing good time.
You're now about to witness the strength of geek knowledge alone. Welcome, that's right. Once again, you are trapped in a spoiler discussion of NerdCage Live. This channel is a celebration of all things pop culture, including DC Comics, Batman, movies, the Joker, you name it. if you are new to their channel or if you are coming from BigJackFilms, please hit that like button and subscribe. I'm your co-host, Jay St. G, certified geek, 7 days a week, coming to you live from yours truly, the land of the orange of Syracuse, New York. And our moderator and trollhammer, Joe FallenOne Gaming, is not here. He refused to see the movie, but I see him in the chat moderating. But he's made many appearances on NerdCage Live. You know him, you love him, hailing from his homeworld of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. He is a filmmaker and YouTube extraordinaire, my dear friend, Jack Buchanan of BigJackFilms. How you doing, buddy?
I am good. I am wonderful. Thanks for having me on.
No, definitely appreciate it. And real quick, just want to shout out the chat here. I see, Headlock Gaming, hope you're safe down in Tampa, buddy. I see Nikita, thank you for coming in. Starmaster996, of course, Joe FallenOne Gaming. Everybody, if I miss anybody, thanks so much for being here. If you haven't already, just real quick, some things to promote real quick. If you haven't already, please check out our interview with Sifu Ken Edwards of Mortal Kombat 1995. Check out our last week's discussion where we talked everything Mortal Kombat 1 Chaos Reigns. Our latest food review, the Oreo-flavored Coke and the Coke-flavored Oreo with my dear friends Sabagh99, Toasty of Komidogu, and Justin McCollum. We'll be on Twitch Thursday night for Spooky Games Month 2024, twitch.tv/NerdCage Live for Luigi's Mansion 2. And then Saturday back on Twitch for Resident Evil 7 as Spooky Games Month continues. And please mark your calendars for Saturday, December 14th, as we do Cheesy Movies for Charity 3 as we raise money for St. Jude. And this year we'll be watching Surf Ninjas, Over the Top, Highlander 2, The Quickening, Madam Web, and Batman Forever. If we've raised $2,000, people, guess what? All of this long, luscious hair is gone. Help us get us to $2,000 December 14th, and we really, really can't wait. But hey, we are here to talk Joker, Folie, do spoiler discussion. So real quick, I'm going to hand the floor over to Jack. Jack, don't give a rating yet, but give me your general thoughts, and please plug whatever you need to plug, my friend. The floor is yours, buddy.
Well, first of all, guys, I guess I'll start with the plugs. Basically, I've got a few episodes of my show coming out on BigJackFilms and the King Kong reviews. I've got a King Kong review that is also a Halloween special I'm working on. And then, if you have seen the trailer, we're doing actually a new Batman review on Batman Mask of the Phantasm, the movie based on the animated series. It will be coming out hopefully on Halloween Day. Technically, DC is no stranger to us with Halloween, so we figured we'll cover the next theatrically released Batman movie. And it is a continuation of our fan film storyline with Batman that we've done before. And this is probably our most cinematically impressive that we've done. Outside of that, my Patreon, perfect place to go. My live streams I usually do Mondays, Wednesdays, well, mostly Wednesdays, but I try to do them throughout the week. And donate to Super Chats on our Patreon there. It really helps support the channel. With that said, my first impressions is, well, I hate to break it to all y'all fans wanting a Joker 3, but that ain't happening. And also, you're not going to see this puppy in Joker 3. I'm sorry, you're not getting Batman. So my impressions of this are, to sum it up in terms of mild spoilers, it's the equivalent of how Charlton Heston wanted to do Beneath the Planet of the Apes. He didn't want to do the sequel, but the studio pressured them, and they said, well, why don't we just end it here, and that's it, no more sequels. It kind of had that vibe, and I understand where Todd Phillips might be coming from. He probably wants to do other movies, and if it was his job to kill the franchise, I kind of respect that, because we have plenty of Batman and Gotham to work with right now.
Absolutely.
So, in other words, I didn't mind this movie. I think y'all were just wanting another franchise out of this, and it's like, no, you're not getting it. I'm sorry. You know, sometimes, like we grew up in the 80s, like they said, sometimes it's okay to just say no. You don't have to do it. Even if they do, like, here's what I'm convinced.
Yeah.
This movie the original movie's budget was $70 million, right? This one was $200 million. My guess is where that other, like, 100-something million went to it went to $30 million each for Todd Phillips, Joaquin Phoenix, and Lady Gaga's salary. They got $30 million out of this shit.
And Jack, if I could add to that, just remind you, Joaquin Phoenix was barely paid any money for the first movie. So he kind of deserved this payday, in my opinion. So I'm not mad that the budget ballooned, and it was mainly to the cast, not so much the production
this movie does not feel like it was made on $200 million. This feels like it was made on the budget, if not lower than the first one. So I would guarantee that extra budget went to the cast and the director. Like, they got a good payday, and that's the thing. If you're upset with them, fine, but at least they got to feed their families and pay their bills at the end of the day. Sure, it's $30 million, but...
And come on, Lady Gaga doesn't come off cheap. I mean, she's coming off really... Her film career's really taking off, and she's coming off some really, really great performances, in my opinion. And I'm biased here. I'm a diehard Lady Gaga fan. I saw her in Chicago back in 2010, so just so you know. So if you hear me simping and like praising Lady Gaga, it's because I'm a diehard fan. And when they announced her as Harley Quinn, I was stoked.
You had a poker face.
Well, I'm just saying. Well, yeah, but she's a girl from Queens. She's from Queens, New York. So it makes sense to have a New York gal play Harley Quinn. So she's perfect. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Margot Robbie, but let's face it, her performance was more of the fun-loving, mischievous Harley Quinn. This is a more psychotic, manipulative Harley Quinn.
It's the one thing I will say. I brought this up in my opening night of this movie that I did with my girlfriend a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And it's whereas the first film was about the message about mental health and how we have to treat it better, this one, it goes over people's heads, is that this is about stop making biopics based on serial killers because girls get a fantasy for that shit. And I think that's the part they're trying to express, like, as a story with this, is that this is about a girl who sees a psychopath, a serial killer, as like a hot heartthrob. And I guess the movie's trying to tell the message that stop doing this. Like, the fact that they made a TV movie about it within the movie. In fact, I want to see that movie kind of more than this one is the TV movie. And the idea that she watched it so many times, again, it is going after that demographic who are fangirls of serial killers. And I don't watch those biopics. I think it's absolutely disgusting to endorse that. So for me, it's I like the message about this one. The first one's about mental health. The first one's about girls' mental health and how to not go crazy.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So I got a question, Jack. Let's just get the elephant out of the room. How'd you feel about the musical moments in the movie?
To be honest, I didn't mind them. In fact, when I knew it was a musical, I thought, okay, well, this is pretty much Lady Gaga's contract. You put her in a movie, she's going to write musical numbers. At that point, your movie becomes a musical if you've got Lady Gaga in it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you can't waste her talent, you know.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's the equivalent of, like, doing, getting Madonna to be in your James Bond movie and not having her write the song at the end.
Yeah,
even though
the beginning, actually.
Ironically, I do like Die Another Day. So, to the point, with the musical numbers, to be honest, I don't think it breaks character with neither, because we have seen in the comics and some of the cartoons that these characters can sing. Harley Quinn can sing in the animated series. Joker can sing in the Killing Joke comic. It doesn't break character, and on top of that, I go into the perspective that these movies are all supposed to take place. These are all supposed to be from the point of view of the Joker's head. Like, to quote the Killing Joke comic, if I'm going to have a pass, I prefer it to be multiple choice. So we don't know what's real. We don't know what's fake. And this is just another one of the Joker...
And they did the same thing in the first one, it just wasn't musical. For example, he fantasized about being in the audience at Murray and all that.
Who hasn't, when they were, growing up and fallen in love, have that, like, Cloudlands fantasy where it becomes a whimsical musical number where it's, like, dancing bunnies and shit. It's like something out of Bambi. Like, it would fit a character like this, retelling his story about how he found Harley in his own sick way is what I felt about it. And then on top of that, you knew it was coming through his head from the very beginning with probably one of the best things about the movie. I fucking loved the cartoon at the beginning of it. The whole Warner Brothers cartoon was brilliant. I know it was very much channeling those, not like sort of 50s to onward Looney Tunes. It was very much like early 1930s Looney Tunes, where felt like very like World War II propaganda Looney Tunes, and I was okay with that.
You know what's kind of funny? So I was just walking into the theater when the cartoon came on, because I was running a little bit late that day because I was live streaming. But I saw, like, when the first Joker movie came out, like, I saw a lot of memes and T-shirts that they were doing Looney Tunes style artwork of Joaquin Phoenix Joker. You know, instead of "That's all, folks, that's life, folks," and blah blah blah. So I was just kind of amazed that we actually saw that come to life on screen there. That Warner Brothers embraced.
They probably
like, all
saw
the
the
memes
memes
and
and they said,
cartoons.
"Meme this shit." They memed it. Like,
Yeah.
I noticed Warner Brothers has had a knack of looking at their memes online and basically saying, "Hey, that's free marketing. Let's put it in the movie." I remember when Space Jam 2 came out, you had a scene where Bugs Bunny just became Big Chungus for a sec, and it was only because, hey, look, we did the thing, guys. We did the thing.
Yeah.
Which I thought was, I mean, again, that was interesting. And what I liked is that it was, with the cartoon, is that it was very much Looney Tunes. It was, like, even down to, like, using the theme and everything. I was like, at first I'm thinking, oh my god, are we actually getting a Looney Tunes cartoon at the start of this? I'm okay
and
with
of
that.
course, they snuck in some metaphors in there with the shadow and stuff.
Yeah, Shadow, and there's a lot of stuff going on there, which I really liked in that. I will say with Lady Gaga, I do like it was a different interpretation. I still personally prefer Margot Robbie, but Lady Gaga did pretty good. And again, the musicals.
I mean, there are two different takes on it, and one thing is, and my roommate pointed this out too. I saw the movie with my roommate. He was pointing out that this was a big role reversal, where in most of the interpretations of Harley Quinn and Joker's relationship, it was the Joker that manipulated Harley. This time was the other way around. They established that she was a PhD, a rich girl PhD, all that stuff, and she was a psychology major, and she was manipulating Arthur to be Joker.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool that we got a small role reversal there, and in this context and in this universe, it makes sense.
It does make sense because, you know, this whole Gotham is fucking cruel as shit. So to see us, even a psychiatrist.
It's in New York. They said it this time. It was Gotham, New York. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I know, but still, for me, it's still Gotham City, which I thought was cool.
Well, when they did this, in the Snyder universe, they said Gotham City was in New Jersey. That the first Suicide Squad confirmed that. So I was just happy that it was New York this time, because I'm like, yes, let's go
Even though
New
it's
York,
weird
baby.
that, like, even though it's weird in the Snyderverse that half of Gotham was shot here in Toronto when they shot Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well, ironically enough, our city is pretty much Gotham now, given the way it is. But no realism.
Well, they got
anyway,
you. They got you as the Dark Knight roaming around rooftops and shit, so it makes sense.
Well, I mean, we used to have a Toronto Batman, but he's since retired. But so yeah, with this movie, it was interesting when they did that. There's a lot of stuff I really liked in this. I did like the musical numbers. I liked how it was a jukebox musical where it was songs we kind of already know. And when I was watching it, I felt like I was watching a Broadway musical. Like there were, like when the stages would come up, it felt like, you know, one of those. And I like a good Broadway musical. I've seen my fair share. So this felt like something I could get used to. It was very West Side Story, very I'm trying to think of some other musicals it kind of reminded me of. It had a lot of that vibe. And the one song I do like, and my girl is a huge fan of the song, is when they have that scene where Harley comes to visit him, and she says that she's pregnant, and then she sings the song there. My girlfriend jumped out of her seat because she loves The Simpsons. She's an avid Simpsons fan. In fact, I'm going to share this artwork. She made this. She's so sweet. Her artwork is amazing. She made this of us as Homer and Marge. It's so freaking cute. And it's based on that episode of The Simpsons with that song. So when that song played, she jumped out of her seat with so much happiness. And I was like, oh, I love this. It was really cute. And actually, speaking of that scene, I have a theory if we could jump to the ending.
Yeah, we'll probably do a lot of jumping around here. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so you notice how she says she's pregnant. And then when they break up, what happened? Like, is she actually pregnant?
I think, okay, so fan theory, I think she lied.
know what? I think she lied twice.
Remember, because she lied to him from the jump. She lied about, like, you know, that she killed her parents. She lied about, you know, that she was a poor girl and that she grew up in the same neighborhood. So that's why I think she lied about the pregnancy.
Here's my theory. She double lied. She broke up with him and all that. I think she's pregnant, but not with his kid, with the other Joker's kid.
Well, I was gonna say,
I get the feeling she might have fucked around a little bit to get to Arthur.
Well, don't wait. Hold on. Back up. Remember how she got in the prison cell?
Mm-hmm.
She said, "I'll do anything." She said, I did a little something to get to see you." So she either sucked him off or fucked him.
So it would not surprise me that when, like, okay, probably even prior, like, to all that, she probably banged this guy, and then when he turned out to be more psychotic and she went back to Arthur and all that disappointment, she at least said, hey, I wanted the Joker, not you. Well, she got her Joker, and he's still back in Arkham, and, you know, considering the cuts or whatever, I don't know. The thing is, the one thing, it's a theory that's so messed. It's the one part about the movie I don't like is a little bit of the ending. I don't mind the fact that Arthur, you know, gets shivved. But what a lot of people are stretching on, because some people might be this desperate to try to make it that good, is where you see in the background, he's cutting his cheeks to indicate
I think that was just an homage. The movie was loaded with homages. For example, Arthur was being transferred to the B ward of
Burt Ward. I did catch that. The Burt Ward. I thought that was clever. Okay, movie.
And then the other one, and going back to Burt Ward, so that one guard there who was Scottish, I think that was a tribute to Officer O'Hara.
Chief O'Hara.
O'Hara, yeah.
Commissioner.
Yeah, so I think they threw in these little homages to old Batman. I think that other Joker, because remember, Todd Phillips said since the first movie that this Arthur Fleck isn't the Joker. He was probably the guy that inspired the Joker.
So that's the guy who becomes the Joker. So I guess in a way what he's doing is he's like, okay, I won't do Joker 3, but Warner Brothers, that's up to y'all if you want to do it. I'm out.
And based on the box office, I don't think it's happening. I think they're done with this universe. And there's also rumors going on out there.
Label outside of the Batman, I think the Black Label is over.
Well, here's the thing, though. I guess I'm going way off topic here, but I might as well say it. So, word on the street is that Batman movie, The Brave and the Bold, that James Gunn was getting ready to do, Andy Muschietti, who did The Flash, he quit. Now, rumor has it, Warner Brothers is pushing James Gunn to say, fuck it, just make Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson, Batman part of your DCU. And James Gunn doesn't want to, but they may force him to do it due to the oversaturation of Batman stuff.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess, you know, this is a good chance to do that because, you know, everything's kind of in line. I get the idea because they missed their chance in 2005, 2006 with Batman Begins and Superman Returns to make that the start. I feel like in a way they're trying not to, they don't want to make the same mistake because they tried to rush it with Batman v Superman and we all know how that turned out. I guess they're trying to basically start with establish Batman, establish Superman, then you team them up. Don't do like the sequel to Man of Steel as Batman v Superman right away. They're learning a little bit, and you know what? I feel like they could technically do it, and I don't think it would be a major problem. The only thing
if they do it, there should be a time jump in Pattinson's universe.
The only thing I do ask is that keep the Batman stuff, all that dark and R-rated, and all the other DC stuff, make it PG-13. I don't care. Just keep Batman the tone. Don't switch it to kid stuff because look what happened with the Tim Burton to Joel Schumacher, and we all know how that turned out.
Yeah.
My only thing I want in the Batman Part 2 is Robin. I just want Robin. And I don't want Damian. I don't want all that. I either want Dick Grayson or Jason Todd.
We'll see. But like I said, I think the reason why we're not going to get a Joker 3 is because we're going to get more Matt Reeves Batman, and of course James Gunn wants to do his Batman in his DC universe, which I don't think is going to do well, in my opinion. I don't trust James Gunn, and I think in an oversaturation of superhero films, I just think in the fact that, I don't know. Whole nother discussion, but anyway, if they were to do a Joker 3, and of course we're going to get Batman Part 2, and then James Gunn wants to do his it's an oversaturation of Batman. So they gotta, so I think the Joker saga needs to end.
It does. And plus, I'm actually excited to see what the guy they got in the Batman to do with Joker, because that's a little bit more terrifying. That's a Joker I want to see, because I've heard what the story is behind his origins, but I still like that he gets the acid chemical thing, which we haven't seen in a long time. I'm kind of done with the realistic, gritty Joker. I think it should be like permanent white makeup and like the clown, like the whole clown. I think they need to go back to the comic book roots in a way. With that. But yeah, with Joker 2, it's there's a lot. Again, there's a lot to like. I love the cinematography. The cinematography is still on point.
The acting was on point.
You know what? I didn't mind the guy they got to play Harvey Dent. I thought Harvey was good, and I already knew. Okay, I know where this is going. It's either going to be fire or somebody's going to throw acid in his face.
I liked it. I loved it. Here's why: is because you knew it was coming, but how? Also, I appreciate the fact that at least this time Harvey Dent got scarred in the court. Yes.
Yeah, like in the comics. My only doubt, the yang to that, he does not flip a coin. He doesn't flip the coin.
Well, remember, we didn't really see much of him because this was all from Arthur's perspective.
Well, at least like if you could do the Burt Ward thing, you could have at least had one scene in the court where he flips a coin to get the idea. Like, okay, there it is.
Well, I also appreciate the fact that this was a young Harvey Dent, because it makes sense for the timeline, that he was the ADA, he was the assistant district attorney. Yeah.
And not the district. Okay, yeah, it's I'll say this. It's been, I've noticed with DC, they've never, even with Aaron Eckhart and all that, they've never really gotten Harvey Two-Face down correctly. Because you not only have to do how he's scarred, Batman the Animated Series did so much better, where it's like, multiple personality disorder, and I know they're too, like, the fact they were able to try to bring this into this movie as sort of a metaphor for what Two-Face should be, I thought was clever, but I'm glad we're trying to get to that route, which means we're going in the right direction. So whatever they do with Two-Face in the Matt Reeves movies, hopefully they do multiple personality disorder, and they actually, because that's the one thing I know, okay, that's Two-Face.
Yeah, they haven't done that yet.
They haven't, because they're too afraid. Like, they might, like, I'm just expecting sort of, like, we did it in our stuff, like, where it's sort of this Gollum Smeagol persona, where they're arguing with each other. So I do like what they did with Harvey here. I mean, I couldn't really get a good look at his face when he gets all messed up.
Yeah, well, it was all smoky, so, but if you saw, he was laying there unconscious, and his face was all scratched up and whatever, so.
I would have liked, because I remember when this was announced that it was going to be in Arkham and that it was going to be a musical, because at first I was thinking, okay, well, the first one was Taxi Driver. Is this one going to be One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? Which is ironic, because that stars like half of Batman's cast in Rogues Gallery, Jack Nicholson, Danny DeVito, and all that, so I'm like, that would have been an interesting take if they did something like that. Maybe Harley Quinn is sort of the Nurse Ratched in this universe. That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Done something with that, because One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is one of my favorite movies, so that would be cool to see. But like that in Arkham Asylum as a musical, like imagine they're all like dancing around with chairs. I would be cool with that if it's all in the Joker's head. That would have been amazing. So I'll say this, hey, Comic-Cons, get ready to see this Harley Quinn cosplay for the next 6 to 7 months, because that's going to dominate everything now. Everybody's going to look at this and say, I got to do that cosplay, that cosplay, that cosplay. Like, even if the movie's bad, the costumes are amazing in this. I really dug the Joker in the tuxes, in the black suit, the white. The black suit was a total nod to that Alex Ross painting that he did with him and Harley. Like, I thought that was a nice nod.
Also, the makeup was John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, it was.
It's exact same clown makeup.
That would have been funny if it was just Sid Haig. The great Sid Haig. What's the matter, kid? Don't you like clowns? Don't we make you laugh? Aren't we fucking funny? Yes, you are. I don't find clowns scary. But yeah, it's just apparently there was a lot cut from this movie too. Like,
yeah, because if you look at the trailer, and I've been putting some of the trailer footage. Sorry guys, I'm being a little self-conscious about putting trailer footage up for you guys because of the Warner Brothers loves to like throw the axe at every YouTube channel. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff in the trailers that we didn't see in the movie, especially Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix dancing on the stairs. We never got that in the movie.
You know that scene where they like kind of walk out of the court? Like at first, like in that song number? I get the feeling that was going to be the extension of that, but they cut it. I feel like that's where it was.
And there were like 2 or 3 different endings that were filmed.
Yeah, because they were afraid one of them was going to get leaked, and that's what see. This is the thing. I don't mind you guys making additional essentially backup endings in case something happens, but when you announce that, could you at least put it on as the deleted scene so we can make a decision? Like, you notice how there's all these deleted scenes released. They never release those alternate endings. You know, It would be interesting if they could do that. I don't know why. Maybe they're scared of fan edits. They're scared of fan edits.
For those who... okay, this is a spoiler discussion. So the ending that we saw, which you already talked about, was Joker gets shanked by another Joker, per se. So one of the endings that was filmed was this. So at the end, where Joker escapes, runs out of the car, runs to the stairs, see Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga dumps him. Apparently, there was an ending where she shoots him dead, and then she walks up the stairs, indicating that she's going up. You know how in the first movie he's dancing down the stairs, which is like his descent into madness. Mm-hmm. So in this ending, she shoots him dead and then walks up the stairs and walks into the sunset, and she's walking away from the madness, and she kills him dead.
I feel like that would have. No, I'm gonna be honest. That probably would have pissed a lot of people off because that would have been oh look, another The Message women empower thing, and I mean I don't know. Maybe it could have worked in this context, but there would have been some gruffies that would have been like, no, that's stupid. But I like the ending we got.
Okay, here's what I would have preferred was he escapes, she dumps him, and he shoots her dead. And then he like, kind of becomes the Joker. Or what I would have preferred too is, what if she got killed at the from the car bomb in the courtroom, and then he goes, insane and becomes a Joker that way and escapes. I was little turned off that after he got raped in prison by the guards, he said that's enough, I can't do this anymore, and he got broken, and then I don't know, I didn't like that. I think that was a huge missed opportunity. I feel like this whole movie there were so many missed opportunities. That was just my opinion.
I feel like the way I would have ended it in a traditional route that would have made the fans somewhat happy is if the bomb goes off and then they both leave. Maybe either they both leave together or they both get arrested together and then they both go to Arkham. Just something of that level where you put them back in. I think would have been a bit more, it would have basically had it where, okay, we're going to do another one. But at the same time, at least it's an ending that's more traditional to the comics and to the lore and everything that would have been more, respected. I think a lot of people do. I think if you look at the ending, I think that's what I like that Todd did with this ending is that he had it where it's up to the audience to decide what happens afterwards. And I think for me, it's about, we all have different opinions about this. For me, yes, the other guy became the real Joker, which I think was a nod to that comic, The Three Jokers, that they did a couple years ago. But it's also a matter of, I like to think that him and Harley, that Joker and that Harley ended up like, and they basically, you know, she has his kid who maybe ends up becoming the actual Joker that would eventually fight Batman.
Yeah, like I said, the pregnancy thing, like you just said, it kind of leaves you up for debate because she lied and manipulated. So,
and like, how long did that court drag out for? Because, you know, like, you know, if it depends how long it's gone from like court to like from pregnancy to court, how big's her stomach, you know?
Okay, so I heard a couple theories about the ending here. So there's one theory that when they said, "Hey Arthur, you have a visitor," that was Harley Quinn was going to show him how far she was instead of pregnancy. The other theory is that this Joker that stabbed him, that this was planned by the guards. Like they planned it. Like they did this on
purpose. To have him killed.
Yeah, like this.
Because they got tired of him. That there wasn't a visitor.
That they wasn't a visitor. That this was all planned out by the guards.
Yeah, and the guards, well, because, you know, at that point, you're like, yeah, you had your fun with him, but then after he blows up the court, maybe it's the idea that when he's back in Arkham, because I like it's one of the consequences of the first one is that Gotham is actually, like, Joker is sort of the anti-Batman, whereas Batman's a symbol of hope, Joker's a symbol of chaos, where the city is now a lot more rebellious and revolting.
They didn't show enough of that, I feel.
They didn't do enough, but it's hinting at, even with the bomb, that was set off by a bunch of Joker followers. Like, it's almost like there's a uprising war, and like you hear them say in the car, you know, it's about to, you know, things are going to get worse. We're going to burn the whole city down. Like, you know, like this is just the beginning. So maybe while
I
he's
just
in
thought it was a
Arkham,
missed opportunity. Like after seeing the chaos at the end of the first movie, I want to see more.
the budget
of that.
ran out. The budget ran out. That's probably why we didn't see it. They ran out of money. And I think the idea is that as the city, when Joker's back in Arkham, as the city's gotten into worse chaos, so the guards are like, this is all his fault. Fuck him. We're done. We're done with them. Get rid of him.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's a desperation to make Gotham safer is to just get rid of the core. You know, it's like get rid of what's causing everybody to go insane. You know, I think is what I think ultimately maybe what the plan was with the guards.
Yeah.
So, this is my theory.
Yeah. All right, and I guess we can wrap up here pretty soon. But what were your favorite parts of the movie?
Oh, it's tough. I actually did like the scene where she burnt the piano while they were watching the movie and they got away and that whole musical number. I thought that was sweet. That was really nice. I loved everything in the court scene. I didn't mind the ending. I felt like everybody else, the best scene is with Gary. Because that guy is a good actor. Hollywood, give him more work. That guy's a good actor. And I like that they're seeing, like, the fact that they both respected each other, it wasn't just one-sided. The fact that Gary had his hardships, he had the same shit thrown to him. It's really the city that's the problem, and they both got, like, they were both outcasts. The fact that they shared that dynamic and that Gary felt the same pain Arthur did, and he saw, okay, this is what happens if I didn't control myself, and he's trying to it's almost like he's trying to save Arthur. He's trying to say, listen, you did horrible things, but I'm in the same boat as you. Don't, like when he says, don't do this to yourself, he's saying, don't do what I don't have the balls to do. I just leave.
Yeah.
I just leave, Arthur. But that guy needs more work because he is such a good actor. You know, he needs more work out there.
Yeah, like I said, all the acting was top tier in this movie. So I'm going to say my two favorite parts, I'm with everybody here, the Gary Puddles scene in the courtroom, and then my other favorite scene was the musical number in the courtroom where Arthur kills Harvey Dent and kills the judge.
I like that.
That was the best musical number. I know you said you liked the escape part. That was my favorite musical number because that was like I wanted more of that, the violent fantasy. I wanted more of that.
I blinked and I saw he already killed Harvey and I'm like, wait, look, go back to his face. I want to see if his face is all fucked up. Apparently they didn't do that. But I was thinking,
it was funny and it was awesome. Also, I just want to point out too, This is why I want to give Lady Gaga some credit. Like, her style of singing in the movie was in line with her Joanne album, which I think was like her 3rd or 4th album, and that album she did with Tony Bennett, Cheek to Cheek. So like that style, that lounge style, of her, that style of singing. I'm not talking about her pop stuff. I'm talking about like her lounge jazzy singing. She demonstrated that throughout this movie. So I was so happy because I think that's where Lady Gaga's at her best when it comes to her singing and performing ability on her musical side. So yeah, so I loved everything about Lady Gaga in this movie. She was the music. I'm just gonna say this right now. Lady Gaga and the music and all the musical numbers were not the problem with this movie. My opinion, the problem with the movie was the writing and missed opportunities. Is what the problem was for me, not the music, and everything else. And then the ending left more to be desired, in my opinion. That was what the problem with this movie was. And on top of that, again, the first movie is like a 10 for me. It's perfect. So when I went into this movie, I had the highest of expectations. I didn't care what the review said. I had high expectations, and I was just let down. You know, that's basically my summary of it. But yeah, my 2 favorite scenes was the courtroom musical number and the Gary Puddles.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You bring up like your flaws, and you know you're a fan of Lady Gaga. Would you have preferred if they maybe hinted at another one or franchised it out? And on top of that, would you have wanted to see more of Lady Gaga as this character, like in a future installment? Or do you think this is more of a one-off? We don't need to see any more. This was perfect. We don't need more.
I don't think we need more. Like, I mean, I wasn't really. I mean, I think we're lucky we got the sequel to begin with. But I think the story was told the best they could do. I really, again, they've already established that this is not the real Joker, so I'm fine with them just ending it there. I just found it odd that she dumped him the way she did. I understood why she did it. I just thought it was odd. I think I would have preferred if she was. I would have preferred if she was killed. Whether if she got killed by Arthur or killed by the car bomb, I think it would have been more fitting for the tone of this movie that she was killed, and not so much him.
It's funny because like if you don't count Mia Sara in that show Birds of Prey, this would technically be like the second actress in live action to play Harley Quinn. So it's a matter of like, okay, well, if she's not going to do it anymore, and depending on if they can get Margot Robbie back somehow for the DC gun stuff, because James worked with Margot and they had a good time, like, who are you going to cast in this part? Who's next to play this part? Like, who's next to play this character?
Sydney Sweeney.
I don't know enough about Sydney Sweeney to make an opinion about that. So, I don't know. It's just there's things you could still do with this character. And you know what actually would have been really funny if they
did maybe like a spin-off prequel or something on HBO Max.
And then, what actually would be cool about that? You get somebody to play a character named Dr. Pamela Isley, and you hint that. You make that happen. Because it's funny, because I know Megan Fox has been eyed to play Poison Ivy for a very long time, and I think maybe. You look at Jennifer's body, I'm like, that's Poison Ivy. That's practically her. I don't know who you could get for that role, but like something on that level. Like I think it's time. I'll be honest. Going into the future, I think we need to move away from the traditional Batman rogues gallery. Like we've had the Riddler, we've had Two-Face, we've had Joker way too much. We've had a good Penguin right now, Poison Ivy, or what is it? Harley Quinn. We need to do villains like Clayface. We need to do Poison Ivy again. We need Mr. Freeze. You know what? I want the Man-Bat.
I think they've already talked. Rumor has it the next Batman for Reeves' universe is going to be set in the wintertime with Mr. Freeze.
I only want one actor, Bryan Cranston, as Mr. Freeze. Just Heisenberg, Mr. Freeze.
I got one better, Giancarlo Esposito.
Carlo Esposito. Oh, the guy from Mandalorian?
What?
The guy from Mandalorian?
Yes.
I can see that. I think he's a little overcast right now. He's, no pun intended, a little overcast to play Mr. Freeze. But I think for me, like, it should, like, Bryan Cranston, but I just really want the Man-Bat. Like, when I heard Andy Serkis was cast, I didn't expect him to be Alfred. I expected with his motion capture skills, he was going to be the Man-Bat, which would have been amazing. But they didn't do that, but I heard Clayface is supposed to be the villain, which, again, I'm okay with. But I really want Man-Bat.
We'll see. I mean, ugh.
And no Scarecrow. I'm done with the Scarecrow.
Well, I'm really enjoying the Penguin series right now, and I think it's the best thing that they got going right now.
I need to watch it. I've heard it's really good. I don't have an HBO Max account, but I do have to get a chance to watch
I'm gonna watch part 3 tomorrow.
Okay, because I'm hearing nothing but great things about that. I just watched a documentary called.
Honestly, I know it's early, but I think that's better than the Batman, and it's obviously better than this.
I mean, I have to see, because I managed to see the Batman like 3 times. I'll say this with the Batman. My favorite Batman movie is still going to be Batman Returns. That is still peak Batman. That is perfect. Batman is 2nd place, Dark Knight is 3rd, Mask of the Phantasm is 4th. That's sort of where I range it.
For me, well, first of all, Ben Affleck's my favorite Batman, but my favorite Batman movie is The Dark Knight, even though I don't like the trilogy as a whole, but I love The Dark Knight's my favorite Batman movie, followed by Batman 89. And then I like what Zack Snyder did with his version of Affleck there, and it's a damn shame we never got the Affleck solo film.
My girlfriend's favorite movie is Dark Knight Rises. That's her favorite out of the bunch. I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
I enjoyed Tom Hardy as Bane, but that movie had so many problems, and I don't know.
Do you ever, I had something on top of my head. Here's the thing. Did you ever find watching The Batman with John Turturro as Falcone? Did you ever feel like that was written for Al Pacino and Al Pacino probably said no?
I never really thought of that, but I mean, Al
I saw Al Pacino.
He's too old now to,
He still should. Like, I think, if you can get De Niro, you can get Pacino. Fuck. They got Abe Vigoda in Mask of the Phantasm. Like, you can get these guys, because I like that that Batman, I guess they're planning a trilogy, that they're pretty, Matt Reeves is saying this is, like, and I agree in a way, this is going to be the Godfather trilogy of comic book movies, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, I mean, before we wrap this up, I'll say this, like, I wish that Warner Brothers handed this upcoming DC universe to Matt Reeves and not James Gunn. Honestly, I have no faith in James Gunn. I don't, because based on the Suicide Squad movie and the Guardians movie, I don't want fart and dick jokes with Wonder Woman and Superman, etc., etc., etc. And I think the man's got a mentality of a 14-year-old, and I don't want him running DC. Whereas Matt Reeves, based on the 2 Apes movies he did, and again, I had my problems with the Batman, but he established such a great world building, especially with Penguin. I wish they handed the whole DCU to Matt Reeves and not goddamn James Gunn. They were going to give it to Todd Phillips.
Who would you rather have? Who would you rather have? Because Matt Reeves is friends with the latter. Would you rather have James Gunn or J.J. Abrams? Because Matt Reeves is good friends with J.J. And I know J.J. tried to get a
Abrams
Superman
is a
movie going
fuck
for
up,
a while.
and James Gunn is unproven. I would probably go with James Gunn just because he did good with Peacemaker, but I don't think he's the right man for the job, and I think Superman's gonna flop hard.
Do you think J.J. Abrams should do a Superman movie? Do you think he would have been better candidate? No? Okay.
No,
yeah,
I think Abrams.
Messed up with Star Wars.
Abrams fucked up Star Trek and he fucked up Star Wars. I don't care because I hate Star Wars, but
well, the first. Can I just say the first Star Trek he did was actually not half bad. I didn't mind that one.
It was great, but the ones after that were terrible.
Oh, I know. Into Darkness. Oh well, let's just do Wrath of Khan again. Ugh.
No, the problem is like Warner Brothers has proven, like, they I didn't like how they screwed over Snyder, and I don't like how they made they basically interfered with this movie as well with some. They never did a test audience. Like Warner Brothers can't be trusted, you know, and like
You know what? It's not. It's know who this. It's all David Zaslav. This guy does not know what he's doing. And what do you expect from the guy who greenlit shit shows like Here Comes Honey Boo Boo? Yeah, he's responsible for that. So if you liked Honey Boo Boo, get ready for the next 20 fucking years of Warner Brothers to be basically a bowl of buttered, gross spaghetti. That's all you're going to get.
If you like the films or not, ever since Zaslav took over, everything has flopped for DC for the most part. So
I have a question. Who is the guy, I can't remember what his name is, Peter Guberg, who produced the live action, the Tim Burton Batman movie, the first one? Peter Guberg, he should be running Warner Brothers because that guy knows what he's doing.
I don't know. I mean, it's just a crapshoot right now. All right, guys. So it's getting close to 7:30 here. So I mean, I think we covered everything we really need to cover. Like there were stuff that we liked, stuff that we didn't like. But anyway, well, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give the floor to Jack. Jack, give your final thoughts, a final rating 1 through 10, and then plug whatever you want to plug.
I think I gave this movie a good, 7 or 8. It's definitely not the first one, but it is still... it's very much, I guess, what you could say is it's for a niche audience. It's only for people who can get... to quote the Joker, the people who don't like it, you don't get it. It's for people who kind of understand where they're coming from, and because of that, and because I will admit, I did spoil myself before this movie came out, I knew what I was getting into coming in, so I kind of was able to take it in and appreciate it more. And for that, again, it's not the first one. It makes some odd choices, but I kind of respect the odd choices, and I did find enjoyment in this film. I don't get what the hate's all about. But yeah, that's my rating of it. So on my end, guys, first of all, thank you, NerdCage Live, for bringing me in. I do want to give a plug to my girlfriend's website, Resiliency in Me. It's a good place to support. It's a organization that actually helps kids in low poverty and low incomes get mental health. So that's just a little plug I want to put in. But outside of that, guys, my Patreon, link down below. I'll get them to put a link in. Put $1 more in. It'll help support the channel. I've got
I'm a proud Patreon, by the way.
Yeah, they're Patreon as well. I've got Batman Mask of the Phantasm review coming out. I've got Jurassic World Dominion coming out probably in November. But a lot of episodes are coming in on our end. We got a lot to work on. Hope you guys are there to enjoy it and watch it. And I really appreciate these guys bringing me in. I always love coming in on their podcast whenever I can. And it's wonderful. It's a good time.
Well, thank you very much for the kind words, Jack. Definitely appreciate it. So for me, okay, again, I was very passionate about the first film. Again, the first film's a perfect 10 for me because it was such a unique take on something we haven't really seen before, Batman-wise. And I'm a diehard Lady Gaga fan, as everybody can see here. Seen her in concert and whatnot, and she's a girl from Queens, and I love everything about her. Just saying. So, and I love, and she's a great actress too. I mean, American Horror Story, House of Gucci, all the other cameos that she's done. So when she was announced as Harley Quinn, I was absolutely stoked, and she was great in the movie. The problems with this movie is not the music, and it's not the acting. It was the writing and the missed opportunities. They could have done so much more with the ending. They could have done so much more with other scenes that they could have capitalized on, and they didn't. They went in weird directions. Now, I'm not talking about the music. They went in weird directions with the writing that made it such a letdown for me. So, for me, this movie isn't hot garbage like Civil War or Godzilla X Kong New Empire, were the two worst movies I've ever seen this year. This movie is a 5.5 out of 10. So, it's not absolute garbage, but it's definitely a letdown, and it's not just great. It's not great either, but I think... I might watch it again. I may just buy it just because of Lady Gaga, because I love her so much. But yeah, it just could have been better. So 5 out of 10, loaded with missed opportunities. Again, not the worst thing I've seen all year. And again, thank you to everybody real quick. If you haven't already, please check out our live stream interview with Sifu Ken Edwards from Mortal Kombat 1995. As well as our last week's stream with Mad Mike Jones and Headlock Gaming as we discuss Mortal Kombat 1 Chaos Reigns, our Oreo review We're going to be on Twitch Thursday, 6 p.m., twitch.tv/NerdCage Live for Luigi's Mansion 2 for Spooky Games Month, along with Resident Evil 7 for Spooky Games Month on Saturday at 4 o'clock. And please, oh please, mark your calendars for Saturday, December 14th, Cheesy Movies for Charity 3. Yes, we are. We're raising more money for St. Jude's. We're going to be watching Surf Ninjas, Over the Top, 102 The Quickening, Madam Web, and Batman Forever. Our goal is to raise $2,000, and this hair is gone. I am chopping off my hair and donating my hair if we raise $2,000 for St. Jude's on December 14th. I think we can get there. All right, we raised $1,300 last year. We can definitely hit $2,000 this year. And of course, if you haven't already, get yourself a NerdCage Live t-shirt. Any size, any color. Whether you're a skinny booty call or a fat fuck, big or small, we love them all. We go from small all the way to 5XL. We also got hoodies, magnets, tote bags, pillows, various designs. Again, the link to our TeePublic is in the description of every video and across all social media. And speaking of social media, please join our Facebook discussion group, NerdCage Nation. We definitely appreciate everybody's support. And of course, we're on Instagram, nerd_cage, as well as Twitter, nerd_cage. And yeah, so definitely appreciate. Oh yeah, we also have a Discord server. It's kind of dead, but please join our Discord server. I mean, the more people we get in, the more conversations we can have. And we allow people to promote whatever they want to promote. So, again, if you want to support us, get yourself a NerdCage Live t-shirt. That's the best way to support us. Again, you're going to love the way you look.
BigJackFilms font. We got to get some BigJackFilms fonts in there at some point. I've been teasing it since Ready Player One.
Yes.
You have my consent.
All right, well, listen, we, again, thank you to BigJackFilms. Please subscribe to BigJackFilms if you haven't already. If you haven't, what the fuck are you doing? This man busts his ass off, makes great content, great reviews, entertains the hell out of us, makes us laugh. Not only that, he's a very talented filmmaker and a very talented content maker. He's a great friend, and I'm one of the luckiest nerds on the planet to be able to work with this guy and call him my friend. So yes, we definitely appreciate it. So until then, everybody, please, we ask you to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and spread that shit like syphilis. So USA from your story land of the Orange of Syracuse, New York, Toronto, Canada, to all of our friends and fans around the world at NerdCage Live and BigJackFilms. As always, enjoy life, stay safe, eat your vegetables, do your push-ups, go to the gym, all that good stuff. Good night. God bless, and have the best day of your life.
Bye, everybody.
And stick around for awesome Twitch promo, and we'll see you on Twitch Thursday night, 6 o'clock. Booyah!
NerdCage Live and gaming are a perfect match.
Shoot the J, Joe. Okay. Shoot it!
All right.
Over on NerdCage Live on Twitch, Jay and Joe go live.
Call me Bazooka Joe. It's all about you.
Kaboom! Playing both old school and new school games every Tuesday night. Ooh, what a sight!
Jay, stop looking at her face and run.
But she's so beautiful.
So be sure to follow NerdCage Live on Twitch.
Run for your life, Joe. Run for your life, Joe.
Running.
Run faster. Oh no, Joe. The galaxy's doomed because of you.
To scratch your gaming itch.
Oh, nice kick, Joe.
Thank you.
Yo, that's diabolical. Wait. Yo!
That's twitch.tv/NerdCage Live.
Ooh, trying to get out of the nerd cage, are ya? Well, before you go, hit that subscribe button. And if you're really intrigued, ring that bell. Thank you for dropping by.